come up. Erica enters, carrying a shepherd's crook.
Welcome to Coventry, home of Lady Godiva. My mother. How would you feel if your mother rode through the town in the buff?
Erica pushes open the curtain, revealing a tall folding screen, a writing desk and chair, a vase of flowers, and a stall of Godiva merchandise, including dolls, with hair flowing down from the head, covering the entire body.
What the devil are you people wearing? Judging by your exotic clothes, I'd say you've traveled quite a distance. From down south is my guess. We get pilgrims from all over. Our town is currently the most popular tourist destination in England. Yawn, yawn. I'm Lady Erica, daughter of the Earl of Mercia. I'll be your guide for the day. How often do you get a member of the nobility to show you around? Never again if I can help it. All I did was put a sleeping hedgehog on Sister Winifred's chair during Vespers. She wasn't supposed to sit down. I consider this penance unjust. I mean, the hedgehog survived. The highlight of the day's activities will be a walking tour of the town, following the exact route of Lady Godiva's ride. Mind you don't tread in the droppings. When we reach the stables in Hay Lane, you'll have an opportunity to pat Nellie, the original white mare. If you have no particular need for your fingers, she's fed up with being patted. During the walk, you may find your chronic ailments are suddenly cured. That's only to be expected on the holy site of the most astounding miracle in Christendom. A beautiful woman rode through the streets in the buff, and the town people stayed indoors behind closed shutters. After a marvel of such magnitude, your aches and pains are a doddle. The tour will conclude with a view through the railings of the Earl's estate. If you're lucky, you may even catch a glimpse of Lady Godiva herself, strolling in the garden. That chance. Try and keep up with me. If you lag behind, you'll get pestered by beggars. Please stick with the group, and keep the pickpockets happy.
Madge enters from the aisle. She carries a piece of chalk and a parchment diagram depicting two concentric circles.
Message from his lordship, my lady. You don't have to do this morning's tour.
Hurrah! Daddy to the rescue.
He's got some special entertainment lined up.
And it's not even my birthday.
For these guests.
Oh.
Ladies and gents, his lordship and her ladyship will be here shortly.
What? My mother? Coming here?
In a few minutes.
But she never makes public appearances.
You're all in for a rare treat.
Why has she suddenly decided to grace this lot with her presence?
It's his lordship's idea.
He must be planning a surprise for her.
No doubt.
Daddy's a very kind man.
Doting father, doting daughter.
He's kind to everyone. His generous benefactions are the talk of the county.
Yeah. Have you folks heard the ballad? When Vikings raid a helpless town, they swing their battle axes, but they don't grind the people down with cruel, excessive taxes. Our local tyrant, Leofric, compelled the town to pay. The victims said they'd sooner pick a Viking any day. For once a Viking's grabbed his loot, he leaves the poor alone. But Leo taxed the destitute and skinned them to the bone.
Be fair, Madge. That's ancient history.
6 months ago.
Madge gets down on her hands and knees and starts to draw a line on the floor.
In the past, Daddy may have been a stickler for harsh business practices, but he's changed his ways since then. Even the ballad says so. The latest version. Come on, Madge. You know how it goes. Her ladyship
Was in a stew.
She had to end the grief. She said, "My dear, what must I do to foster tax relief? Please tell me, darling, pretty please."
She wouldn't let it rest, till finally, just for a tease, the Earl proposed a test. Ride naked through the marketplace at noon. That's all I need. He knew she'd never bear disgrace.
But Mummy said agreed. She had a plan to win the bet. She gained the people's trust.
The thought of being out of death beats nosiness and lust.
So all the townsfolk stayed inside.
Except one peeping traitor, the only man who saw the ride, went blind a moment later.
Ignore that bit. A ridiculous invention. Anyway, Mummy went to see Daddy. "My dear," she said, "I've passed the test. Or can't you take a joke?"
His lordship asked, "What's your request?"
"The taxes?"
"I revoke."
Now every little boy and girl still fears to meet a Viking, but nowadays our merry Earl
Is much more to our liking.
See?
If he wants to be popular, he should stop landing people with jobs outside of their set duties.
What are you doing, Madge?
Obeying orders. He told me to draw this on the floor, as big as possible.
A hoop?
Or a wheel or something, who knows?
Must be some sort of ritual symbol, like those giant chalk pictures on hillsides.
I'm down for household chores and wet nursing. Art.
You draw the line at drawing lines.
Gonna wobbly.
Madge, there's an easier way to draw a circle.
Erica gathers some ribbons from the stall, ties them together to make a cord, shifts the chair to stage center, ties one end of the cord to the top of the chair, and stretches it taut to make a radius of a circle. Then she holds out her hand for the chalk. Madge gives it to her. Holding the ribbon and chalk in one hand, Erica demonstrates drawing a smooth arc.
Well, if you want to be fussy.
Madge takes the chalk and continues drawing the circle.
It's a ring!
Maybe.
A symbol of matrimony! The blissful union of two souls.
Here they come.
I bet Daddy's gonna renew his wedding vows. Pledge eternal devotion to his lady. It's the latest thing, just over from the continent. I don't know if it's reached your villages yet. They call it chivalry. It's hot.
Try telling my Alfred.
Madge holds the ribbon a yard closer to the chair and starts drawing a second circle inside the first one. Leofric comes down the aisle, leading Godiva by the hand.
Morning. Morning. Oh, festive costumes, splendid, most appropriate. And flowers, delightful.
Godiva accepts a large bouquet from someone in the audience.
How kind.
Erica runs to her father and links her arm in his.
Am I off the hook?
No shepherding today, pet. I need to borrow your flock.
They're all yours.
Leofric, Godiva, and Erica go on stage. Brother Thomas comes down the aisle. He carries a large book in a box containing quill, pen, and ink.
It is most pleasant here. I was a little concerned that the hall might be draughty, but no, most pleasant. Good people, I give you the famous Godiva.
Madge, do you have scissors?
Here, my lady.
Oh, no cheering. Excellent. Constant adulation can be rather tiresome. The locals are forever hailing her as a savior. Never let up, do they, dear?
Expressions of gratitude. That's all it is.
Godiva adds the flowers in her bouquet to the display in the vase. Madge finishes drawing a second circle and removes the ribbon from the chair leg. Thomas moves the chair back to the desk and prepares to do some writing.
Fortunately, these visitors owe you nothing. You'll find a refuge from hysteria here. We can proceed in a calm, civilized fashion.
Proceed with what exactly?
Mummy, give him a chance.
Patience, light of my life. What is it the scriptures say? A light mustn't be kept hidden under a bushel. I will soon demonstrate I'm a most worthy Christian. Brother Thomas is here to record the event for posterity.
You're determined to be mysterious.
Oh, on the contrary, I wish everything to be revealed.
She doesn't understand the new style of elegant compliments.
I'll speak plainly then. Madge, you've done a fine job there.
You, my lord.
Now, pop over to Bert the woodcarver's shop. There's a package to be picked up. Bring it here.
Very good, my lord.
And don't dawdle.
Wouldn't dream of it. Not on my list of jobs.
More mystery.
Well, if that's how you describe wrapping a gift.
Mummy, don't ask so many questions. You'll spoil the surprise.
I can't help wondering.
Demanding explanations isn't very romantic.
Oh, you mustn't be so hard on your mother, pet. Curiosity is a powerful force. It lured our guests here today. They are eager to hear more about Lady Godiva's amazing ride. Speaking of which, I would like to clear up a couple of details.
Leo, I thought that you wanted to put that incident behind us.
Oh, impossible, my love. Your fame has spread throughout Christendom. There is even talk that the Pope would fast-track your canonization, making you the first ever official living saint.
And you believe the rumor?
Of course not. I merely cite it as an example of the inaccuracies that are creeping into the legend.
Like those dolls.
Oh, precisely. You brush your mother's hair. Does it grow down to her ankles?
Nope.
Her knees?
Shoulder length.
Well, so much for long flowing locks covering her nakedness.
The version for little kids.
Or prudes. And have any of you heard the tale of Peeping Tom struck blind on the spot for perving?
Load of tripe. No one saw her ride.
As a matter of fact,
Peeping Tom never existed. But that didn't stop schoolboys from making up a naughty song about him. It's really
Peeping
disgusting.
Peeping Tom, Peeping Tom.
You've heard it.
I visit school.
And you don't mind?
Oh, it's just a silly rhyme.
I bet you wouldn't let me sing it.
Why not? Typical Warwickshire gaudiness. Our visitors may be interested.
You'll let me sing it here.
Unless you're too shy.
Peeping Tom, where did you come creeping from? You were rude, you were crude, saw a lady in the nude. Dirty hands, dirty mind, we know what made you go blind.
to resume, we were making corrections.
Peeping Tom is a total myth.
As a matter of fact, some elements of the story are true. Tom the tailor did take a peek.
What?
Not out of lechery, though. He was acting on my instructions.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm a businessman, pet. There was a substantial amount of revenue at stake. I never thought your mother would actually go through with the ride, but on the off chance that she might, I had to have eyewitness verification.
Are you saying this man saw her without her clothes on?
He was a tailor. Like a doctor, it doesn't count.
Mommy!
Don't blame your father for checking up on me, Erica. After all, I tricked him by persuading the whole town not to look.
But a man saw you! Starkers!
Oh, the taxes are gone. That's the important thing.
I hope he did go blind.
There was absolutely no deterioration in his eyesight. He fell on hard times, the poor chap. No one in town would buy clothes from the man who betrayed their beloved Lady Godiva.
Serves him right.
One day he disappeared. No one saw him again. Gossip soon twisted that into he went blind.
Maybe it's true.
I'm afraid not. I managed to track him down last week. It came to my notice that our Benedictines are wearing very stylish habits these days. Apparently, someone with sartorial experience has joined the order. Is this not so, Brother Thomas, formerly known as Tom the Tailor?
Leofric pulls the hood off of Thomas's head.
Oh, very dramatic, darling. But what are you trying to prove?
Simply that anyone can gaze at your naked body without being adversely affected. It's quite safe, I assure you all. Tom's vision is as good as ever. Look at his handwriting. Beautiful. There's absolutely no call for alarm.
Mummy, what's he up to?
Hush. You know your father likes to play games.
Madge comes down the aisle carrying a large wrapped package.
Oh, Madge, your timing's impeccable.
I hurried as fast as I could, my lord. This seemed awkward to carry.
Give it to your mistress.
My lady.
Open it, my love.
Erica?
Erica tears off the wrapping to reveal a long pole with a carved horse's head at one end.
I'm way too old for this.
Oh, no. It's not for you, pet. It's for your mother.
Will that be all, my lord?
No, her ladyship will need you to help her undress.
Darling, our visitors will think that you're serious.
I'm perfectly serious, my love. You will strip naked and ride a cockhorse around this track in front of these avid spectators.
Daddy!
Shall we say 3 laps? Your first time around, they will be too stunned to take it all in, but by the 3rd lap, everyone should have settled down and had a jolly good view. I suggest you start out slowly, save yourself for the home stretch. You don't want to get the stitch.
Completely lost your senses?
You decide. Am I deluding myself in thinking that you still value our marriage?
If all you need is reassurance of that,
Don't do it, my lady. There's peeping Tom, the traitor.
Yes, Madge, we know.
You made a laughingstock of me. The whole world knows how you played your husband for a fool.
And you want revenge?
It's spite. Barbaric spite.
You should both know I'm too selfish to be motivated by malice.
What exactly are you after?
A clean slate. I would like to go down in history without any infernal blot on my good name.
You want to be known as a man who degraded his wife?
Today's event will soon blow over. In a month, it should be completely forgotten.
Then why bother?
Because it will drag the story of your other ride into oblivion too. You won't pull off a miracle this time. You won't stop this crowd from gawping at you. There'll be nothing heroic or saintly here, just plain human nature in action, goggling at jiggling flesh. Once the magic's gone, your devotees will abandon you, Godiva dolls will stop selling, and to get rid of the stock, hawkers will have to pass them off as Eve in the Garden of Eden. No one will remember your name, except perhaps as the wife of Leofric, the illustrious Earl of Mercy.
Such an elaborate plan, though somewhat hampered by the fact that I have no intention of disrobing in public.
I've anticipated your modesty. You can undress behind this screen.
Darling, I'm not playing.
You've ridden naked before. You weren't coy then.
That was different.
True. You had the rabble to save. This time it's your marriage.
We obviously need to talk in private.
No. It was your private talking that started this whole business. Nagging me about those horrid taxes, day in, day out. And at night, too, during our most intimate moments. We make each other so happy. Think of the joy we could spread through equitable taxation reform.
Oh, he's exaggerating.
I can't imitate your subtlety. Constant wheedling and cajoling. You wore me down. Cornered me into making the wager.
Which you were confident of winning.
Oh, I've learned my lesson. I shan't underestimate your ingenuity again.
Oh, you took it in good humor. When I asked you to pay up, you accepted defeat.
By then, I'd had time to recover from the blow. Tom can tell you how I reacted when he brought me the news earlier. Speak up, man.
You were poleaxed, gutted. Never seen a man's face turn so red.
Oh, dear.
Do you have any idea how deeply you humiliated me?
Would you like a public apology?
What, and shame me even more?
You've come out of it pretty well, Daddy. People like you more now. And financially,
Yes. Any loss in revenue has been more than made up by the boom in tourist trade. I'm making a bundle. Ugh. What use is wealth to a wretch who has been robbed of his manhood?
Oh, drat.
You leave me no power to command your obedience? Finish the job. Take your scissors. Cut my hair off. Shear me like Samson and be done with me. Gah!
If.
If, did I hear an if? A glimmer of hope shining through the darkness like a beacon, or am I still deluding myself?
this isn't chivalry. You just look ridiculous. That beacon guff is old hat.
Are you satisfied? Even my daughter scorns me.
What do you expect? You're pathetic.
Don't talk like that to your father.
It's what he deserves.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Yeah. This is a difficult time for him. And all that, Rod? I've been gentle with him for months now.
Oh, hold your tongue.
You asked her to be gentle with me?
Well, you needed someone to look up to you.
Oh.
I didn't mind, Daddy. I felt sorry for you too.
Two?
Ever since...
Ugh. All these months you have been pitying me?
I'm sorry, Daddy.
Both of you.
I won't if you don't want me to.
I call you pet, but I've been yours, haven't I? Mind you look after him, he's very fragile. Is that what she told you?
All right,
Is that what you said?
Leo. I'm saying I'll do as you ask.
You'll...
If you will cancel out the past, no grudges, no recriminations.
Agreed.
All right, then.
Mommy, no!
Go home, Erica.
You can't.
I said go home.
Daddy, tell her she doesn't have to.
I dare not. Your mother rules in this household for the time being.
Make her leave. She shouldn't see this.
You heard your mother.
Erica swallows back tears and runs up the aisle, but she doesn't leave the auditorium. She hides amongst the audience.
Let's get this over with and done with. Madge,
Just a moment. I'll offer you a sporting chance.
namely,
You may talk to these people first. Try and convince them not to look.
no thanks.
Why not?
It worked last time, milady.
That was different. The townspeople know me.
And if you had caught them peeking, you might have abandoned the ride. They would still be paying the taxes.
That's very cynical.
So-called miracles usually have a rational explanation.
In any case, these people are strangers.
With nothing to gain from averting their eyes.
Some may look away out of sympathy or courtesy.
I hardly think so. Shall we have a wager?
Darling, can I just do it?
A sporting chance works both ways. You decline the opportunity to persuade them not to look. You must allow me to point out to them the advantages of doing so.
Should have thought that was obvious.
Your mistress has outwitted me too often. I will not take anything for granted this time.
Do what you'd like. I'm past tiring.
I suspect even your composure is calculated to influence our guests in your favor. I must deploy all means at my disposal.
Fine.
Most of you will need no prompting from me, but if anyone is hesitant, I am sure an account of my lady's wondrous beauty will win you over.
In your pardon, my lord. With their weird outfits, you might not have twigged. A lot of these folk are women.
Yeah, I did notice.
Well, I mean to say, some of them may be that way in kind, but what about the rest? What's in it for them?
The satisfaction of their curiosity. Fair ladies, when you hear extravagant claims of physical perfection, you're bound to be rather skeptical. How can you resist casting your critical eye over this alleged Venus? Is she really so superior to you all?
It is no use trying to arouse their jealousy. They won't pay any mind to praise from a besotted husband.
Which is why I brought along an independent assessor of your charms. Step forward, Tom.
Alias peeping pervert.
Madge prods Thomas with a shepherd's crook.
Mustn't badger my key witness. Now, Tom, you have watched her ladyship in all her natural glory. Describe what you saw.
I'm doing my darndest to lead a decent life.
Splendid. We can rely on your honesty.
I'm not up to this.
Nonsense. You are uniquely qualified for the task. You have a professional eye for the aesthetics of the human form, and quite a reputation as a connoisseur of female flesh. Why do you think I chose you to spy on her in the first place? No one else in town would have succumbed to the temptation.
Filthy lech.
Bit of a lad, isn't he, Madge?
Never got anywhere with me, my lord. There are plenty of baggages around who aren't so fussy.
I'll admit I've done my share of wenching. I've even rigged the odd chastity belt with an escape catch and let grateful wives show me their appreciation. But I'm due to take a vow of chastity myself next year, so I'm trying to cut down.
What's the church coming to?
Don't you slag off the church. They took me in when no one else would have me.
This is a chance to vindicate yourself, Tom.
How do you figure that?
You're clearly on the path to righteousness. Tell us what turned your life around. Describe this marvelous revelation.
I don't fancy being a scoundrel anymore.
Come now. Inspire us with religious fervor. The monastery could do with a few more endowments. We'll all dig deep in our pockets.
You can't bribe me this time. Another of my vows will be poverty. I reckon I'll cope pretty well with giving up greed.
Isn't obedience in there somewhere?
To Benedict's rule, not to you.
What about humility?
Tough one, that.
Be honest now. Aren't you displaying stubborn pride?
Enough of this. Tom, do what he says.
Don't you fret, my lady. You can trust me. I won't utter a word. Not for heaven itself.
I'm asking you.
I don't get it. Why would...
I want to appease his lordship. He won't let us move on until you speak out.
But...
Oh, you know the Latin motto, summum bonum.
The greatest good?
Bear that in mind. It's my guiding principle. I look beyond today's stunt. My blushes will soon fade. I would willingly undergo far greater trials to restore my husband's self-esteem. My ordeal is knowing the anguish that I caused him. This is my salvation. A Pegasus with angelic wings, carrying me to a bright future where my husband will believe that he is my equal again.
You want me to tell him everything?
That's he wants to hear.
I understand.
Madge, put down your weapon.
Madge drops the shepherd's crook.
Here goes. Basically, I mean, she's a real cracker. Talk about hot stuff. Yeah, woo.
Righto, Tom, that'll do.
God bless you, Brother Thomas.
Godiva holds out her hand. Thomas makes a courtly bow and kisses her fingertips.
My noble lady.
Now, darling, may I proceed?
The greatest good. An interesting concept.
I think their appetites are suitably whetted. Madge,
For me, the greatest good will be universal acclaim for my magnanimity.
Leofric gently removes Madge's hands from the head covering.
you've changed your mind?
I've achieved my goal. Our guests have seen you willingly submit to my authority. They've seen you fail to produce any miracle. Your bubble is burst, my love. Spread the good word, good people. Tell everyone how Leofric the Merciful prevented his wife from committing an impropriety of the most indelicate nature.
Erica runs down the aisle.
You've clinched it, Daddy. Chivalry par excellence.
And regain his daughter's respect.
Erica, I told you to go home.
What does it matter now, Mummy? You pulled it off. That Pegasus bitch did the trick.
Your mother didn't dupe me this time, pet. I saw through the Pegasus maneuver. You tugged on the old heartstrings a tad too heavily there, my love. I'm afraid you're losing your touch.
For once, I was being perfectly sincere.
Oh, I'm wise to you. You spoke of me becoming your equal? It seems I'm too sharp for you already.
Leo, please send Erica home.
What the devil for?
Daddy's the boss now.
Please. I'm serious. Send her home.
Why should I?
I haven't done anything wrong.
But I have. I've done something terribly wrong, and I can't bear the burden of guilt anymore.
What are you on about?
Oh, send her away and I'll confess everything.
If you've got something to say, you can say it in front of her.
I just want to protect you
From what?
from losing her respect again.
As if that'd happen.
What could turn her against me?
Discovering that I've made a bigger fool of you than you can possibly imagine.
Daddy?
Before she goes any further, come and give me a hug. You might not want to later.
Madge, do you know where they keep, what's her name, the white horse?
Ellie, stables down an A lane. Why?
Ask the groom to bring her here.
Saddled?
Haven't really thought. Yes, saddle, I suppose. Probably more comfortable. And make sure she comes with those things you hold on to.
Right. Very good, my lady.
Sweetheart, are you planning on taking a ride?
I have a debt to pay.
Get back here, Madge. No one's going anywhere till her ladyship explains herself.
The deal was you'd revoke the taxes if I rode naked through the marketplace. You carried out your end of the bargain. Now, my turn.
But you already did.
No, I didn't. I didn't ride naked. I didn't even ride fully clothed. In fact, I've never been on a horse in my life.
Hang on. Tom saw you.
Oh, dear Tom, my faithful friend.
He reported to me straight afterwards. He told me.
Lies, my lord. Codswallop.
Oh, thanks to a twinge of conscience, Tom came to me and revealed your plot. So we devised a plan of our own. Didn't we, Tom?
I was prepared to take your secret to the grave, my lady.
It's better this way.
You're incredible. You have fooled the whole world.
Oh, rub it in.
How can I be angry? You are magnificent. I am married to the cleverest woman in history.
And the most devious.
Mummy, you've got to learn to accept admiration gracefully.
Will you still revere your father, knowing I hoodwinked him?
Yes, because he's rising above it.
Thank you, pet.
I can't wait to tell the other girls my mother never went horse riding in the buff. That'll wipe the smirks off their faces.
Only temporarily. It's such a mild day. At least I won't catch a chill.
Mummy, he's not holding you to anything. Are you, Daddy?
Of course not. And I promise I won't reinstate the taxes.
I appreciate that, but I still have to do the ride.
What for?
A clean slate, remember? Once I've done this, no one will ever be able to say your wife put one over on you. I won't ask anyone to stay inside this time. They can all stare to their heart's content.
My love.
I won't even notice them. I'll be too busy trying not to fall off.
Daddy, think of something.
Madge, your errand.
Sorry, milady. I'm happy to fetch parcels and other inanimate objects. I don't do livestock.
Defiance. No matter. I have a faithful squire handy. Tom, Lane, the white horse, please.
Thomas hesitates, then reluctantly stands up.
Stop him, Madge.
Madge quickly picks up the shepherd's crook and stands in front of Thomas, blocking his way.
Thwarted, my lady.
Leo, you really think this will hinder me?
I said no one was to leave until I had a full explanation.
What are you missing?
Let's go back to that day 6 months ago. It was noon. Everyone was keeping inside.
Yes.
What I want to know is, where was Erica?
What do you mean?
I don't recall seeing you at lunch that day, Pet. Am I correct in assuming you snuck out?
Yes, Daddy. You got me. I nipped down to the marketplace to have a squiz.
Tell us what you saw.
It's so mortifying. Do I have to?
Out with it.
No daughter should have to endure such an excruciation. I saw my own mother out riding in a public place without a stitch on her.
Erica, we all know you're making that up.
Let's see if she can corroborate her story. Now, Pet, during your little escapade, did you by chance happen to glance over at Tom the tailor's shop?
Yes, I did.
And what did you see there?
That man peering through the window? As bold as brass.
Damning evidence, Tom. Might as well come clean.
Fair cop. Guilty as charged. Father Abbott says peeping's a sickness, not a mortal sin. I'm being treated for it.
What are you playing at?
Summum bonum, my lady.
We needn't ask you to repeat what you saw. That graphic description you regaled us with a few minutes ago was sufficiently evocative.
Oh, none of you are believing any of this. They're all crazy.
My love, we are simply proving there is no need for any ride. You've already done it.
If I'd already done it, why would I be so keen on doing it again?
Well, sudden loss of fame can be very distressing. One moment everyone worships and idolizes you, then it all slips away, leaving a gaping void in its place.
Well, honey, I don't feel anything.
Gaping voids are like that. I believe former celebrities will do almost anything to be adored again.
This is ridiculous.
Fess on up, my lady.
I bet you saw me too.
No fear. Staring out of windows isn't one of my set duties.
Someone rational at last.
All I did was help you wash your hair afterwards. You must have been going at a pretty fair trot to get it all splattered with mud like that. Maybe it was from draggling on the ground when you got off.
How long was my hair again, Erica? Shoulder length, I think you said.
Yes, now since you had it cut.
You had a trim of you, my lady. Very sensible. 2 bars of soap to scrub it clean.
If my hair was so long, then Tom couldn't have seen much.
The wind was blowing. I saw plenty.
I seem to remember it was an extremely still day.
With occasional squalls.
Give up.
Darling, you've outsmarted me this time.
Oh, this time. Does that mean I'll still have to be on my guard?
You do realize the implications of your victory. Our visitors will take away a vivid image of the ride. The legend will live on.
Let it. Posterity can have its fake Godiva. I've got the original.
Leofric holds open his arms. Godiva kisses him tenderly.
What did I tell you? The circle was a ring after all, a symbol of holy matrimony. A new age is dawning, an era of chivalry and refinement.
Is that what you call it?
Madge indicates Leofric and Godiva, who are now deep in a passionate kiss.
Mommy! Daddy! You're embarrassing me! Show's over, folks! Madge, the curtain!
I don't do furnishings.
Erica dashes over to the curtain and struggles to pull it.
Buy a Godiva doll, made from genuine nun's hair, lapped off when they took their vows!
Is it stuck, my lady?
God knows why those girls want to enter a convent. Maybe they're trying to hide away from the shame of parents who canoodle in public. Mommy! Daddy! Oh!
Throw a bucket of water over him.
If only I had one.
Erica dashes over to the vase and removes the flowers.
Hey, I was joking.
Mommy and Daddy? Stop smooching. I'm warning you.